Welcome to the Board Game Snobs podcast. Critically harsh reviews with a touch of class.
Okay, go.
No, go. You go.
Me?
You go. I don't want to do it. I'm on strike.
Hey, everybody. I'm not good.
This is the worst. No.
Welcome to the Board Game Snobs podcast. I'm your host, Gabi.
The co-host.
Jerry's the other host, Jerry.
Jerry's the main host.
And I'm the uninvited guest.
And the intruder, John.
John, everybody knows about John. They have never had John on the podcast. John is the one that
We have mentioned John in
We've
previous.
mentioned John. Enrique is out today. Enrique, are you ready? You want to hear a joke?
What?
Enrique's at work. He's working today. I don't know what he's doing, but that's what I asked. I said, do you want to go to the Gobbies? He says, no, I'm working. And so I don't know if he knows what that means.
Are you sure you didn't hear twerking?
No, he's working. So John came, and John
came in his stead. Enrique, you're out.
How would you
John's in.
How would you describe John? John is
Oh, ooh.
he's an actual
Describe yourself, John.
he wears sleeves, flannel.
That's always a plus.
Yeah, Enrique
That's a
wears
plus
sleeves.
too. One for each sleeve.
He has, yeah. So he wears sleeves.
That's not flannel. That's just plaid.
I'm sorry, plaid. There's a difference. He also
John, do you have any descriptions for yourself?
Well, this isn't my normal outfit. Usually I have a fedora hat and a bow tie.
he is of
That's
the
true.
Fedora clan.
That's true.
I don't know.
He's in the hat wear club.
He's in the hat man. He's a hat man.
I was going to say, upon introduction, I was going to say
We're gonna do the
Ally McBeal of podcasts. The show's not that great, but we got a couple of quirky characters.
I remember Ally McBeal.
Do you?
Do you know that she's married to my main man Harrison now? Isn't she? Isn't that Felicia?
Yeah, it's only been like the past 15 years
Do you
she's been
know
married
that
to
I
him.
walked within 3 feet of both Ally McBeal and Indiana Jones in New York City at the at Ground Zero while they were touring?
Did you head nod?
I did, and he head nodded back, and that was it.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did. Like, I didn't say anything. He walked by. I was walking by. I looked him straight in the eye. I was like smiling really big, but realized I realized how ignorant it would be to be like just to be drawing attention to himself, and that's irritating. So I just kind of smiled. And
So you thought you played it cool?
I played it cool, and he did too. And he just kept walking.
Did you give him the finger guns?
No, I didn't do the finger guns.
Pew pew.
Nope, don't do that.
I know who you are.
No, he knew who he was,
Han Solo.
and he was like,
Pew,
"Isn't that
pew.
Jerry?"
Laser guns. Pew pew.
No,
That's what I would have done. What if you just started going? Dun, 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 dun,
he doesn't do
dun,
that.
dun, dun.
He drinks
And then he like
scotch.
looks at you.
He drinks. Barrelugan.
Were you with him in the bar?
No.
How do you know what he drinks?
He was on a talk show, and he likes to drink scotch, and he named the scotch that he
He
likes
only
to
drinks
drink.
Karelian rum.
No, there's no such thing. It's ale.
Karelian ale.
He drinks Veraluga or something like that.
Lagavulin, same thing I
Lagavulin,
drink.
something like that.
Oh, I was just joking. I don't know.
Something like that. I can't recall. Oh, man.
Anybody else you've ever rubbed shoulders with that's famous?
I got close to President Bush when he was president at the time, George W.'s motorcade. And
So not him, just his motorcade.
just the motorcade and his Secret Service agent with the M4.
Did you see him in it?
No, I saw the Secret Service
So you
agent.
just saw a car.
I saw the Secret Service agent leaning out of the car telling me not to get close.
Oh, yeah. That was a
it.
decoy.
That was the decoy. It looked like
You don't
it
know
looked-
who that was.
It was George.
That was Bob Barker.
That was George.
Driving down the
That's
road.
George.
You just didn't know who it was.
George.
I
what
one
famous
time
people have you
I
met?
hugged Rosie O'Donnell gave me a hug one time.
Really?
We went to see Fiddler on the Roof
How
on
come
Broadway.
I don't know this?
We went to see Fiddler on the Roof on Broadway
You
back
went
in
to
2005.
Broadway, and you saw Rosie O'Donnell.
And Harvey Weinstein or Fierstein. I
Did he
forget.
touch
No,
you?
not Weinstein. No. Oh, I'm incredibly wrong.
Oh, wait
That's
a minute.
wrong
Wait a
one.
minute. Go.
Fierstein.
Who's Fierstein?
David?
Oh, that guy.
Yes.
You saw him?
The Independence Day. Yes. He was the Fiddler on the Roof. He was the main man, and Rosie was his wife.
What?
And it was absolutely incredible.
Where did this? Why don't I know this?
That was 13 years ago, 14 years ago.
great.
It was awesome. So, but get this. At first, I was like, oh, Rosie O'Donnell. You know, I was just trying to be like, oh, cool. I don't care about Rosie O'Donnell. Who cares about Rosie O'Donnell? She's obnoxious. Da-da-da-da-da. As soon as she walked out the door, Rosie, I love you, Rosie.
I loved her in A League of Her Own.
I was her biggest fan.
I loved A League of Her Own with
I
Tom
like
Hanks.
her. She's good. She's funny.
I love Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks is a national treasure.
Oh, of course. Tom Hanks is the nicest man that
We didn't
exists.
plug ourselves. This is a podcast about board games.
Oh, yeah.
You haven't figured out that this is a podcast about board games, but at times we get sidetracked. And the reason that we're sidetracked
We
today
just start talking.
is that
I literally forget what we start talking about sometimes.
I'm already at number 2 on my Evan Williams run. And this Evan Williams is terrible, but Gabi has doctored it with lemon and honey, and it's nice.
Okay, hold on. Take a small sip of that.
What is this?
That's some scotch for me.
Oh, it's smoky.
I know. You got that sweet honey in your mouth right now. Easy, just a small sip. I don't know if you like it. It's like sniffing a campfire.
Whoa. Whoa.
Nice little campfire going in
Whoa,
there.
it's not like you're huffing
John,
on
you
it.
want some?
No, thank you.
Oh, very good. That's what you're supposed to say.
Woo.
Oh, wait, but how old are you?
I'm 22.
Oh,
That was
you
like that's like a backdraft of
smokiness.
woo. Man.
Call the fire department on this one.
Good.
Good. This is like Lofraig or something.
Lafraig?
Lofraig.
Lafrog.
I don't know.
Lafrog. Viva la frog.
Viva the frog.
Oh, man, that's rough. This podcast is about scotch, board games, and occasionally
We like to have fun here.
boss.
A phrase that if you ever hear, run.
Yeah, no. Where did you get that from?
Hold on. It's just something I observed.
That when
From
people say,
I know.
we like to have fun here, that generally means
If
that
you go somewhere, you know somebody, and they proclaim something about they like to have fun, or
That's generally when
they
a
like to
Tupperware
take it
party
easy,
happens.
or- yeah, pretty much. Or they're just like really uptight.
we like to have fun here.
It's almost like a bizarro statement, like it's the opposite of what actually takes place.
It's like when people say, I like to keep it real. That generally means that they're about to say something that's pretty tactless.
Or if they say, I'm not prejudiced, but then
Yeah.
something terrible is about to be said.
There's a lot of preferences that you could prefaces
Prefaces to avoid.
that you can say that basically lead up to something terrible.
I don't mean to hurt your feelings, but I'm fixing to hurt your
hurt your
feelings.
feelings. I hope you don't take offense at this.
Exactly.
Okay. These are all phrases that I commonly use. Unfortunately. Oh, man. Well,
What are we here for?
this podcast, we're going to talk about 2 games. One, we adore. And quite frankly, I think John is an excellent player at. That would be Modern Art, the bidding game by Reiner Knizia. The other game is a newer game. It was released in 2018. Treasure Island, which is the, not hidden movement, but it's a hide and seek. Hidden treasure. Treasure Island.
hidden treasure, sure.
It's something like that. Game. That
Hidden location.
game. I would like to address Modern Art first.
Okay. Gourd head.
If you are a purveyor, is that right? A purveyor of this
don't know
podcast?
how-
If you're a
yes.
fan, you've listened to our top 10 and you know that Modern Art is one of my favorite games. John.
I am a major fan of modern art.
See? Thank you, John. John's with
In
me.
general or the game?
The game.
Do you like
Not
art?
in general. I
John-
like art, but modern art leaves a little bit.
What's
to
your
be
favorite
desired.
form of art?
I prefer nature scenes.
Nature scenes, such as renderings of nature in terms of paintings,
Yes, that could be.
like birds.
So you're a Thomas Kincaid fan, no doubt.
I'm a Thomas Kincaid fan. Who is
The
not
painter
a
of
Thomas
light.
Kincaid fan?
I mean, who doesn't want to crawl inside of one of those pictures and just live?
Everybody's a Thomas Kincaid fan.
Go inside the cabin, turn the lights on.
As I drink my Evan Williams,
Although at the
I'm
same
becoming
time,
more
I do
of
like a bit more of a surreal approach. The Starry Night is one of my favorites, definitely.
Starry Night's everybody's favorite. I'd cut my ear off
The
just to
best
look
of
at it.
modern art.
Get it? I made a joke.
Star Night.
We like to have fun here.
What did you say?
Nothing. There is a is it Van?
What is considered modern art? I don't even know.
modern art?
Like,
well, I would assume
just like
it's
right
any
now?
type of paintings or artworks done after the Renaissance,
Within a certain time period?
like after 1800 ish.
in the last 10 years.
Like there's and I just read an article talking about how modern art today, modern art, I keep saying modern art today, but modern art is just not that great. Not the board game, but actual art Like we are lacking artists.
There's not been that many great
There's
painters.
just not been that many.
Since the 1800s.
There's just not been that many great artists,
Norman Rockwell,
which we like.
Thomas Kincaid.
And yeah, I love
I say that, but like lots of people kind of make fun of Thomas Kincaid.
I hear it all the time. I can barely walk down the street. There's somebody throwing shade the Kincaid way. But Modern Art, the board game, is a bidding game. And it's a great game because it has pictures of various modern artists. And not the pictures of the artists, but pictures of their paintings. And in this game, you are acting as... It's kind of odd because you have a hand of cards, which is the artwork. And there's 5 different types of auction. There's a regular auction where everybody bids. There's the once around auction where everybody gets the bid escalating up one at a time until it gets back to the person who auctioned it. There's the hidden auction. There's the... What's the other auction? I can't remember.
Open?
There's the open auction. There's just various types of auctions.
And then there's the one where you set the price.
Then there's a fixed priced auction. So the idea of the auction is that you're making money off the cards in your hand, but you can buy those cards. And the cards that you buy go out in front of you, and your money's hidden. And at the end of the round, which is triggered by so many paintings being sold of a certain artist, whoever sold the most, the top 3 artists go up in price. The rest all are worthless, and everybody sells the paintings that they've bought for money. And so you're trying to make money off auctions, but at the same time, you're trying to buy paintings to sell later. So you're speculating on prices.
You're like a curator.
You're a curator.
You're determining...
It basically follows the rule of almost all art that it doesn't matter how it looks. The more people want it, the more expensive it gets.
Exactly. So the more people who buy it...
very thematic in that way.
It's very thematic.
And it's thematic.
Thematic.
It's very systematic.
Systematic and thematic. I like it. It's great. It's my favorite.
Is it stochastic?
No.
Okay.
Not at all. Not in any way, shape, or form.
Okay.
But the best thing about modern art is that I can't come up with a strategy for it. Like, each game is different. Even the last game we played, Gabi threw us for a loop by driving up the price with just one artist and ending the first round very quickly.
Hey, I started the game, then both of y'all followed with the same artist.
And then drove the prices down on the rest of the art. And so that completely blew my mind.
And you derided me for my strategy, and then I won.
You won by $5, which is like a hair's breadth.
Hey, like Dominic Toretto said.
Who's Dominic Toretto?
Winning's winning.
Is he an artist?
Yes, he is. You ever seen him drive? That's beautiful.
Is that the
That's beautiful.
Fast and the Furious?
You can't drift like that. Anybody.
I got $5 that says John's never watched the Fast and the Furious show, right?
You win.
I knew it. See, you know why John hasn't watched Fast and Furious? Because John has a little something called class.
Have you watched it?
I watched the first one.
I've watched them all.
No, I've never watched them. I watched the first one, and then the best one, Tokyo Drift.
That's art.
That's art.
Watching them guys drive is beautiful.
It is. It's pretty good.
But I disagree. Fast and Furious is one of the greatest movie series of all time.
And modern art's probably Reiner Knizia's best game. This new version by Simon, which is great.
Come on.
It's great. It's great. John, what do you think about it? John's here.
Reiner Knizia. Huh? Don't you wish?
I wish I had some Kenichi.
I do enjoy it. Even though my win rate is disturbingly low, I still do enjoy it.
Yeah, well,
winning. You like to have fun.
We're all about having fun here. Doesn't matter.
I mean, I like to play. There's games that I never win at that I just enjoy playing because they're fun.
Yeah. Oh, that was cut deep. Sorry.
Thanks.
I do find that in the game of life, it disturbs me that like part of it is you drive along and you send your kids to college. Don't you remember that? You spin the wheel. And sometimes you put a bunch of those little pegs in the back.
Yeah.
And there was one time during the game of life, I played like 3 times, that somehow I wound up like the was it the Duggars or the Donners? I'm thinking the Donner Party. I'm sorry. The Duggars that had like 18 kids. I had like a maxed out kids in my van. I didn't want any kids. It just happened.
They need to have a square that says, you know what's causing that?
The Donner Party.
We can send you to a store over here. Take care of business.
That's not part of life.
Get your prescription.
No. Life. There's another game that
I used to play Life all the time.
You did?
Just to drive the little cars over those bridges and mountains.
That was a pretty...
Spin the wheel.
That is a...
Spinning the wheel. That's the key. And it goes... Tick, 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 tick. Did you ever play Life?
Maybe 3 times.
I used to own it. I used to play that rascal all the time. I preferred Life over Monopoly.
Oh, everybody prefers Life over Monopoly. Nobody likes Monopoly.
People that like Monopoly.
Who likes Monopoly?
Monopoly
people.
just takes forever.
It's not in business for the last 100 years based on
Monopoly
nobody
you like?
liking
Like the
it.
Rick and Morty Monopoly? You like the Game of Thrones Monopoly? You like
No.
the Simpsons Monopoly? You like the Life Monopoly?
Monopoly
Got
is
Millennium Monopoly.
You got
now.
Millennium Monopoly. That's basically where you sit around and gripe about everything being very high priced. You got the hippie Monopoly, hipster Monopoly. You got all types of monopolies. It's pretty rough.
Would hipsters buy Monopoly?
No.
It's too mainstream.
Too mainstream.
Yeah.
They're like literally there's like one copy of it.
They buy it just to say, we've never played
I've never
that.
played that. When's the last time we've played Monopoly?
I can't remember. It's been so long.
Either. We're going to have to do it. We'll do it at BGG.
No.
Come on.
No.
Live a little. We like to have fun here.
Just get break. I'd rather play Sorry than Monopoly.
All right. Speaking of games you don't like.
Speaking of sorry games.
Speaking of sorry games. We just played a game that has sat on our shelf of shame for several months. Purchased by Gabi. And I don't knock him for it because it was a game that was heavily recommended by another reviewer. I say another reviewer. By a reviewer. We're not reviewers. We're purveyors. We're like...
That's the second time you use that word, and you're not sure how it's being used.
hanger-oners. I don't know what we do. We just look at stuff.
Yeah.
But Gabi bought this game, Treasure Island, based on a popular reviewer's recommendation. It sat on the shelf. I heard a lot of people gripe about it because the rule book is terrible. I looked at the rule book. The rule book is terrible. And so we played it with John. John! Tell me about Treasure Island, please.
In your pirate voice.
Do you have a pirate voice?
In your best
I don't
pirate
have
voice.
pirate voice, unless I have a cold.
Gabi, do your pirate voice.
Arr, matey, and it's driving me nuts.
That sounds like a Irish pirate.
Arr, matey. Aren't they all a little bit Irish?
No!
Irish? Irish.
No, they're not Irish.
Irish.
That's offensive to Irish. Go, John. Go.
Well, it looks good on the surface, and when you start playing a little bit, it seems promising, but then you realize that you cannot get anywhere. You might as well be throwing darts at the board and hoping to hit the treasure.
It's like fool's gold.
In Treasure Island, you have a board that you can ride on, which in board gaming terms should be sacrilegious.
No,
You're
that's what all the
drawing
legacy
on something.
things.
I don't like it. So you're drawing on this with these dry erase markers. And essentially one person is it Long John Silver's, like the restaurant with the burnt hush puppies?
Yes.
Will you ring the bell if you like the service?
Yes.
Did you ever ring the bell?
No.
I rang it one time.
I couldn't because I slipped on the grease.
Oh, yeah. Well, gives me. It was. I will say, I don't know who's eating that Long
You can
John
go
Silver.
skating across the floors on the
Who is
grease.
keeping Long John Silver's in business?
I have to make an admission.
What?
We went to Long John Silver's no more than 3 months ago.
Really? I haven't been to Long John Silver's in like 6 years.
It is something. It is like sin. Because it feels so good in the moment, and then you regret it instantly.
I don't know if everybody has a Long John Silver's in the United States, but for those of you that probably live closer to the coast that have actual fish food or seafood, I'm sorry, fish food. That sounds like something you'd feature Talopolis.
It's been in Jerry's ice cream.
But Long John Silver's is the fast food version of like Red Lobster, but there's no lobster. It's burnt fish. And these nasty
it's just like the
hush
cheapest.
puppies.
It's all so
terrible.
good, but it's so greasy.
It's greasy.
And you will have indigestion within 10 minutes. And it is just, it will tear you up.
Oh, it's
but
bad.
it tastes so good.
And then they have a bell that you're supposed to ring when you walk out. And I ring the bell.
your greasy little
Every time
fingers.
you ring the bell, this big kind of, I don't even know what kind of bell it is. It's like you lose part of your dignity.
Yeah. Well, if you've lost your dignity, ring the bell. Ding, ding, ding. Yeah.
Oh.
But Long John Silver is the main pirate that has hidden the treasure, and then for some reason the pirates are searching for it, and then halfway through he gets captured and sent to prison.
He's out. He's in
out?
the prison. He's in prison right now. And what's taking place with this game is
But then the pirates pick one to put him in.
I know, but I think you're torturing him. I think you're torturing Long John Silver's. You're feeding him hush puppies or cod or something, and he's giving you advice, and you don't know where the treasure is. But at some point in the game, he busts out, and then he runs to the treasure. And so what happened in our game is that when you play Long John Silver's
Treasure Island.
when you play the game of Silvers, you either die, you either win or you die. When you play Treasure Island, the person who plays Long John Silver is giving clues, and these clues might be right, like 80% of them are right, but a few of them might be wrong.
You have 2 clue tokens that you can bluff on.
So as he's laying,
But you might as well have 10.
yeah, as he's laying stuff out, he's saying, okay, the treasure's in the northeast quadrant, or it's over here, or it's close to this pirate. It's semi-co-op, so the person you're working with, which in my case happened to be John, I was lying my pants off to John because I didn't, first off, it was very...
First off, that's just what you do.
Well, yes, first off, that was true.
That's your
Second thing
standard-
is, I
that's your
didn't like
SOP.
the fact that we were playing a game where the main guy was Long John Silver's and John was not Long John Silver's. That was kind of a misnomer. And so, as we're playing this game...
Long Gobby Silver.
As you're like giving out clues, and I'm like using my special power to look and see if the clues are true.
Special power of obnoxiousness.
Of obnoxiousness. I'm telling
I hate
John,
this
he's
game
lying to
all the
us.
way through.
Yeah, this game was terrible.
Jerry was checked out in 5 minutes.
Hated it. And so you use
Very
those.
checked out.
John persisted.
What's those map things? The calipers?
Compass.
No, I know what a compass is. I'm talking about the thing that you stick on the.
Oh, you put a pin in it like
That's called a compass.
Are you kidding me?
No.
That's called a compass. The thing we have the
I'm
pencil.
thinking like the protractor thing.
That's what I'm thinking of. It looks like a
A
protractor.
protractor measures angles. A compass makes circular marks.
Okay, so John. Now John is incredibly intelligent. John says that the thing that you
What are
put
you
a
doing
pencil
here?
in.
Yeah, let me Google.
I think
it
you
just
went
to make
in-
Sure, I'm not looking like
You've
an idiot.
stumbled into the wrong podcast.
We're used to having Enrique here, and Enrique goes, "A compass? I know that thing points southeast." You know that type of thing. I love you,
Yes,
Enrique,
it is indeed a compass.
and I miss you dearly, Enrique. Please get better at work.
Wait. What are you saying? The protractor does what? That does angles.
Yes.
Did Enrique get a
gotcha.
job at Long John Silver's?
Good.
He could be a pirate. So during the game, like Gobby's giving clues, and he's like the treasure's within 6 miles of this mountain, and John's over there using the protractor, and he's drawing circles, and we're trying to find this treasure that's
It's over here. Wink.
and you can move your guys certain amounts of distance, and then you search in a certain area, and it's terrible.
Well, the
right,
premise
John.
it sounds promising.
you go.
Like you could narrow it down, but
Right.
then you soon realize that since any of these could be lies, there's just useless trying to plot it out on a map because you
And the
think you
markers
have-
are terrible.
Well, yes,
Your
that's-
map of lies.
You think you have it narrowed down to a certain region, but it could be that was a lie and it was in fact a different region. Or maybe that is wrong. And it could be near the volcano. Or maybe not.
I feel like they need to get rid of... Now, this is the thing. Well, first tell them what you likened it to.
This was
It's akin to playing Battleship against a liar who maybe tells you hit their ship or maybe not.
Right.
that's basically it. Like you.
A24, you hit... Or did you?
That's basically
Wink.
it. You're giving Gobby gave clues that might be true. Like there was one clue that he gave that just frustrated me to pieces. That I
Now, you could have flipped to see if it was true or
I
not.
assumed it was true, and it was true. But he said this the treasure's east of this pirate, and it was. But east is a direction that can be very broad, and for some reason in my mind, I got it in my head. It's east. It can't possibly be northeast or north a little bit. It has to be east. So I went directionally east, true east, looking for this.
It was east of the pirate
It's
on that
east
map.
on that
Cover
map.
half the map.
Half
if
the
it's in
map,
middle.
which it did. That was irritating, but that doesn't make that's not what's bad about the game. What is bad about the game, and I will say this is a bad game. I'm going to come out. Are we getting pretty salty here? This is
I didn't enjoy it.
this is as salty as a 2-piece deal at
I,
Long John
as
Silver's.
a pirate, didn't enjoy it because I'm just sitting there watching y'all do the action. I didn't feel any tension. Like, y'all were getting close, but then y'all would go far away. Then it got to the point where it was like, I was feeling sorry for y'all. So then I was like giving you clues, helping you get close where I could hopefully feel some tension. I never felt it. And then, like, I gave you one clue. I was like, it's right by the red guy. Of course, I could be lying,
but
then y'all went
literally was right by the red pirate.
But for some reason, y'all went south. I don't know. I didn't quite figure that one out.
Because it was either direction.
Well, it could have been anywhere the red pirate went.
That's what got
true.
us. That's what got us.
But here's the crazy thing: is that John did find it. John
found it by sheer tenacity and just kept going to places. He just kept. It is literally like when you're in Walmart and you're just looking for something and you have no idea what aisle it is on. You're just wandering until you find it.
Is the treasure here? No. Let's try to the left. Is it here? No. Maybe a little farther? No.
Like what aisle is the cheese on?
When you found it,
it's on the dairy aisle.
Did you have any? Was that just like a toss of the dart?
Yeah, I had no clue. It could have been anywhere around. I just picked an empty spot.
Okay.
And there it was. So this is my thing. Treasure Island is I don't like hidden movement games. I don't like hide and seek. If I wanted to do that, I would go play hide and seek. There are two games that Gabi both.
Not necessarily. I would say it's hidden information.
It's hidden information. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. It is one of the worst games I played that came out in 2018. I think that this pains me.
You say that a lot because you forget.
This pains me to say this. I like Whitechapel better. I don't like Whitechapel, but I would have played Whitechapel in a heartbeat over this game. And to tell you the truth, if you want something that's long and drawn out and dry, but has that hidden movement aspect, Whitechapel's the way to go. I actually enjoy playing Whitechapel with Gabi and with John and everybody because they do. There is tension there. If I wanted to play a hidden information game, Cryptid. Cryptid was one of the best games to come out in 2018. It's light, it's quick, it's excellent. John's played Cryptid.
Yeah.
You like Cryptid.
Definitely better than this, because you actually have a definitive location that you're aiming for.
And true information, and John's very Cryptid.
And I figure if you made some adjustments to this game, if you kind of tweaked the rules around, maybe made some of your own changes, you might be able to get something playable out of it. You'd have to invest some time into figuring out how to do it.
Your battleship analogy is spot on. If you're literally just guessing on this wild map, is it here? Is it here? Is it here? You can get some clues that help narrow it down, but the narrowing down is still a massive open field.
And they could be wrong.
And I could be lying. That's the thing. Those two bluff tokens, I don't know if they should narrow it down to one or what, but that seems like a cheeky move.
If you got rid of both of them and just made an all-out race to the treasure.
I mean, yeah, but then that kind of becomes, I'm like telling you where it is. Nope.
If you want to play Treasure Island.
If
you want to play Treasure Island, here's what you do. Have some friends come over to your house.
In the VCR.
Have some friends come over to your house. Take your car keys. Have one of them hide them. And then the rest of you can just amble around the house while he's going warmer, colder, and then just PayPal me $40.
There you go.
You will have a funner time doing that than you will this game. I did not like it. I have not heard anybody else talking about it since it's come out. I guess it's gone and come and gone. Is it gone? Is it done?
I mean, I don't see a whole lot of it on Instagram or nothing.
Well, if it's not on the IG, I've been big on the IG. I've been posting a lot of stuff on the IG. I've been interacting, which makes me remember fan mail. Hold on. If you haven't picked up on it by now, we do not like Treasure Island. But I was going to read some of our fan mail. We have fans. This one's from Scotland. Darren McGuire.
Oh, yeah.
Let me read this. He's from Scotland. The home of real whiskey. Note the lack of the E in the name. I've been enjoying your podcast for a while now. Keep up the casual style and cut to the chase reviews. Much more preferable than the sycophantic style of others. Ergo, and he names.
I had to look that up.
Ergo? No, sycophantic?
Sycophantic.
It's basically me. He named some famous viewers, famous reviewers that I won't mention because, well...
Because you're so respectful.
I'm so respectful.
I appreciate that about you.
Was wondering what your favorite game for two players is. Doesn't need to be strictly two players. You wrote him back, and you mentioned some two-player games that we enjoy. You said Viticulture, Lancaster,
Sure, mix it all together.
Brass Lancaster.
In writing, upon thinking about that, I think that we prefer games that are not specifically 2-player, but games that have good 2-player play in them. Because it seems like games that are specifically 2-player are either too small or too short, or they're just not good.
Well, I will say this. You mentioned Hanakanoji. I hope I said that right.
Probably not.
I like that game a lot.
That's a good one.
That's one of my favorite 2-player games. Also, another game that you mentioned was Star Wars Destiny. We haven't played that in a long time, but guess what? I just purchased the 2-player pack off the virtual flea market for BGG. I just got that. I haven't got it, but I will get it when we go to BGG. Because I was going to give it to Enrique. Because I want to get Enrique involved in it, so that we'll have like
he would like that. He likes reading cards.
He loves reading cards. But Yokohama is an excellent game that I think plays better with just 2 players. Brass Lancashire has a 2-player variant. If you get the Roxley version, it's an excellent game. And he also suggested Glenlivet as a whiskey, which we love already.
That one's pretty good.
And 878 Vikings, it grows on you if you like war games. But there's just not that many 2-player games that are just... Now, we have been playing Arboretum here lately.
Yeah.
I love Arboretum.
It's tough. It's a tough one. I forgot how it played yet again halfway through.
Well, yeah, but it's still a good game. I think that here lately, what was the game that we played the other day that also involves trees, not photosynthesis? Oh, Everdale. You've been posting about Everdale on the IG. That's another game that is good.
Yeah, I'm actually liking it a little bit more. It's the first, really the first 2 moves are just like bam, bam, it's over. It's quick. But it's the last three and the third and fourth move, it gets pretty good. I mean, it's still not, it's light. It's very light.
It's very light, and it's not, it is one of those games that when a box says that it's for 10 years old and up, like it's a family game, I would recommend this is like not an entry-level game, but a next step up game.
I mean, it starts off, you literally have 2 moves, and if you get a stick in this, then you can purchase a card. And if you purchase the right card, then you could transition that into, if you buy certain buildings, then the building will say it can house a specific critter. And then you can just get that critter for free. It doesn't cost you anything.
Right. I will adjust this about, there is one thing that I definitely don't like about Everdale, and it's a design flaw. And the reason I'm going to bring this up is because it bothers me when I see it in games. Everdale has this nice board. It's not really a board. It's like a setup with this big tree and various, trappings that you have on it. Also, as you're playing your cards out into your tableau, all the players around this table are doing it. It can be up to 4 players. On these cards, there are certain cards that indicate on them that they are opened, meaning there's a little sign that says open. Pretty intuitive there. That lets it know that other players can play their
circle,
play their workers there.
Right.
If we're playing 4-player, I'm not looking at your cards. If we're playing 3-player, I'm not looking at your cards. If we're playing 2 players, I'm not looking at your cards. That is a wasted mechanic. Like, there's no reason to have that to where I can play my workers onto your cards because I'm not paying attention.
Yeah, I never even noticed.
Nobody knows this. And even if I declare, hey, I've got a card here you can play on, then the next thing is Enrique's going, what does it do?
Don't forget to use my card.
It's purposeless.
Yeah.
House rule that to where only you can play your workers there or whatnot. It's just not that great. It's just not that great. And so it was something that I don't know why the designers, when they were play testing this game, somebody then told them, you need to jerk this out of the game. It's just not worthwhile. But that's my only quip with it. Some of the best artwork that came out in 2018 was Everdale. Some of the best production work. I mean, it's up there with Brass, in my opinion, in terms of the artwork and the production of it.
Well, I've been playing Everdale solo, which I think, to me, that's probably it's one of the best way to do it. But, I mean, it's very quick. You play it probably in 15 minutes. It's just enjoyable. Like I told somebody, the artwork, the little critters, it's a pleasant experience. It's not something that's going to rack your brain. It's tough. I have a tough time beating old Rugwort. He's a mean little rat.
Is that
basically, there's like 3 stages.
Is he a rat?
He looks like a
He's a
rat.
groundhog.
What's a rugwort? Is he a groundhog? I don't know.
Prairie
He
dog?
looks mean. Whatever he is, he's got one eye and he looks mean. But he keeps attacking Everdale, and you have to fend him off.
That's not good. We
But
like to have fun here.
How you fend him off with building your own city? I don't know.
Infrastructure. That's what keeps raiders at bay.
Doesn't make sense.
Social networking and infrastructure.
So Instagram helps keep them
Instagram,
away.
it helps.
I need to get Rugwort as my friend.
Yeah, you
Then
friend
maybe he'll
somebody.
stop attacking me.
If somebody's on your Instagram
Rugwort,
and they're
let's be
your
friends.
friend, or they're sending you the poke over Facebook, you can pretty well sure that they're not going to give you any trouble.
No, yeah, because people don't cause problems on Facebook.
John, two things. One, you're not on Facebook, are you? You don't accept my friend request pokes. Two,
He's been sending you pokes, and
are you drinking coffee? What are you drinking?
I'm drinking tea.
How pretentious. No, really, I like green tea. And that
It's not green tea.
chai tea, like a spiced chai.
What are you drinking?
Just English breakfast tea, although I prefer matcha tea.
I do like matcha,
I like Macho Man.
but you can't really get into that around here. It's too much to ask. What's your favorite board game?
Is that like Matcha Koro?
Oh, boy, you put me on the spot.
I am putting
here,
you on
aren't
the spot. We can edit out all your
Is
humming.
that like
Uh-huh. Favorite board game? I would have to say Modern Art.
Really?
If you can call that a board game.
It is a board game.
oh yeah.
It's technically a board game. We haven't played many board games with John. John was one that John enjoys various other, I was going to bring this up because John plays a game that I love. It is a computer game that is a co-op game. I hate co-op board games.
Why do you draw your H's out right there?
Why do I draw?
Hate.
Because I
Hate.
Why? Just because I want to. I want to emphasize the H.
Yeah,
I
but
want
your
to.
halitosis is pretty rough right now.
Oh, big words. We like to have fun
Matcha
here.
for you.
John plays a game that he plays on his laptop, always brings it over. Keep talking and nobody explodes. I love Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes. If you have a laptop and you have friends, you should own.
Oh, you just dissed everybody that doesn't have friends, though.
I know, but we're
So
not.
if you don't have any friends,
It's
ignore
kinda
this next
purpose-
segment.
It's kind of purposeless.
You just sit there and watch it explode.
John, I'm just going to sit here and watch this bomb go off.
It's
and
counting down.
Think of this as an analogy.
If I only had friends.
If only I had friends, we could have fun here.
If only I had friends, then I could have fun.
John, drink your matcha tea and tell me about
Tell us how-
Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes.
What is it you like about
It's
it?
fairly close to trying to land an airliner with nothing but instructions over the radio.
There you go. John's good at analogies.
John is like the best. What? This is what's spoiling us because when Enrique comes back and has
What?
no sleeves, it's going to be hard to kind of, because we'll be expecting analogies.
Everybody brings their own thing, Jerry.
What does Enrique bring?
Not
Rabies?
sleeves.
I miss him. I hope his shift at Long John Silver's goes.
Hope it goes smoothly. And bring us back some, what do they call those? The balls?
The hush puppies.
puppies.
But the best thing is that after you've eaten all the fish and all the hush puppies, that crumbly stuff that you still find in the
little
box,
nuggets.
the
Crispies.
the crispies,
Yeah.
eating the crispies off the fish. It's just batter.
You know what
It's
blew my
fried
mind?
batter. What
Hush
blew your
puppies
mind?
are just cornbread.
They're just cornbread. That has
didn't
been,
know that.
It's just burnt cornbread.
balled up fried cornbread.
Nothing says you're in the South like balled up fried sweet cornbread.
Good stuff.
And Keep Talking, Nobody Explodes. You, the person on the laptop, is looking at a 3D representation of a suitcase bomb. And on this bomb has various puzzles that the other people who can't see the bomb, those it can be 1 to 100 people playing with you, have the instructions on how to solve these puzzles, riddles, etc. So some of these puzzles are like, which wires do you cut? Or like this weird grid that you have to figure out how to get from point A to point B. These various puzzles that as the person controlling the bomb is trying to describe to you what they're seeing, you're trying to tell them how to deactivate the bomb and there's a timer and things are going on because the computer is making noise and it's dark and it's just
how many different possibilities? How many different types of puzzles are
like
in that
9
game?
in there.
Well, the instruction manual is 23 pages long, and some of them have 1 or 2 pages. I'd say there are maybe about 18 different modules.
Wow.
If you get it on the computer, however, there are user-created modules and extra pages for the instruction manual. So there are thousands of them.
So people are just making stuff up.
But it's very fun because it's frustrating. And so you can set the timer, you can set the difficulty, and it does provide the tension. I remember the first time me and John played this game. John was reading through the instructions. I was trying to disarm the bomb, and we got down. We played like 5 or 10 minute bomb. It was a big bomb with all these different modules. We got down to the last module, and it was simply, which wire do we cut? And John, I had to cut 2 wires, and John had figured out one of the wires. He couldn't figure out the other. And as I'm telling him,
It's just like the movies.
we got 20 seconds, John.
Red or blue.
We got
I've
red or
never
blue.
seen a more classic movie representation.
And it got down to 10 seconds, and I'm yelling at John. I am yelling at the top of my voice. John,
Yeah,
I
you
need to
maintained
know.
your cool real good.
I need to know. And John is just... which provides more tension because John is trying to concentrate on what
As
to
you're
do.
yelling at
and
him.
I'm yelling like a little girl at the top of my voice, shrieking at him, which do I cut? And finally, he gets down to the 5 seconds left. He says, cut one. Just cut one. You got a 50-50 chance.
and you farted.
And I cut the right one with 2 seconds left.
No,
it was like
0.03 seconds.
it was beautiful,
0.0.
and that's how I knew I was Tom Cruise. And it was the game provided so much tension, and I think that as much as I love board games, there are some video games like this that occasionally provide you an experience. And as much as I don't like party games. There are party games that provide you with an experience that you just can't get from a normal strategy board game or a normal Euro game.
And plus, it has a nice mix between the actual physical on paper, making notes, checking things off, strategy, but at the same time, it has that extra component that you can really only get when you have something like computer running.
Excellent. And I just think that in the world of gaming today, there's no reason to suffer through a boring game such as like we played with Treasure Island. There are many other options out there that have games that provide you and those there with an experience. And so maybe I'm getting grouchy. I just don't tolerate a mediocre board game anymore.
Well, I'm going to say,
I don't tolerate it.
it's been a while since we have played a newer, last year, this year board game that we like. Like, we have just, several of the last games we have played, we're just, they're not any good. They're not any good. They don't bring anything new, or they're just terrible. They're boring. We haven't reviewed Teotihuacan. Teotihuacan. We have not done that one yet.
We haven't done Teotihuacan.
No, Teotihuacan.
Okay.
But that's a good game. We'll review that later.
Wait.
But we have played that one. Jerry says that one split us. But that one Jerry really likes. But that's
Enrique and I like
you
it.
and Jerry.
And those who are hashtag Team Enrique and hashtag Team Jerry know what's going on.
Sure, if you like doing math.
It's
That's
not
a
math.
fun game.
It's not math.
It is math.
It's fine. You just don't understand.
But
math.
other than that, I mean, it's just, we've had a tough time finding a new game that just really gets us excited.
Well, this will be released right before BGG, if I'm not mistaken, because we're recording this before BGG.
Which is good.
Which is
because
great.
There we can go and find us a new game we like.
If you have suggestions of games that have been out that you think we need to play, of course, the BGG library is very extensive. Please email us at boardgamesnobs@gmail.com or message us on the Instagram, and we'll look into it. We're also considering playing, maybe shooting a video at BGG, maybe.
We talk a big game, we probably won't do it.
I'm talking a big game. I'm going to do it. John,
I've got 10 games written down.
Name them.
Underwater Cities. I want to try it.
That suits you. I don't know about it. Go ahead.
Call to Adventure. That's the one Enrique wants to play.
Okay, go ahead.
Role Player. we're both interested in.
Yeah, I'm interested in that.
Tutors.
That's
a new one.
Go ahead.
Insert fart joke here.
We like to have fun here.
Gaia Project. We've never played.
Oh, no.
Lisboa. We've never
I'm
played.
not playing that.
Huh?
Not playing it. Go ahead.
You told me.
I did, but I've looked at the rule book and I'm done with it.
Okay, you're done with
Done
Vital.
with it. Vital.
Passing Through Petra.
I want to play Passing Through Petra.
Quacks of Quedlinburg.
That's going to not be any good, but I'll play it.
And Trade on the Tigris.
Trade on the Tigris and the Euphrates? Yes.
No, I don't think both.
I'm going to play
You
Trade
pick
on
one,
the Tigris.
and that's the one you got to trade on.
I'm going to trade on that Tigris.
So that's 10 games that I'm somewhat interested in.
I'm somewhat interested in a lot
Actually,
of
I
things.
skipped over Hive. That's just an old game I've never played. You ever played it?
It makes me itch.
Good one.
We like to have fun
Itching
here.
to play it?
How many times have I said that?
A bunch. You've taken it and you've run it into the ground.
Running into the ground. That's the best jokes, are the ones that you drive into the ground until they're dead, and you never do them again. This is probably the point in the podcast where we need to stop.
You're checking out.
I'm checking out. Not because I'm disinterested, but because I need to go home.
Okay, go home then.
But we look forward to seeing you all. Well, we're not going to see all of you.
We're not going to see
We're
hardly
not going to see
anybody.
any of you. Probably not. I'm going to say that we're probably not going to have anybody at BGG that knows who we are because we have like 13
Who are we?
fans. We're the Board Game
Who
Snobs.
am I?
The Board Game Snobs. We are the best podcast that's kind of
Ally McBilla podcast.
Kind of sort of about board games. Maybe.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay. This is Jerry. Thank you, John, for filling in for Enrique while he's at work at Long John Silver's, we think.
Making them balls. Making them corn balls. Whatever they are.
They're hush puppies.
Hush puppies.
They're
That's
hush
what it is.
puppies. They're not made from real dogs. They're hush puppies.
You don't know what they're made of.
No, they're not. They're not.
You don't know.
They are not.
All right. Well, thanks for listening. We'll see you on the other side of BGG.
Sign us off, John.
It has been an experience, definitely.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Board Game Snobs. Stay classy.